I've been able to get some help from my dad to excavate out the front of the waterfalls, and then I reestablished my drainage ditch down below the level of where we dug. This is about 2 feet 3 inches deep. Once I put 3 inches of gravel on the bottom, I'll have a nice 2-foot depth of water. I stopped the drainage ditch right here so I don't have any water problems while I'm working inside the waterfall area, keeping the lower area separate. I need to stack up a limestone wall up here to support my bottom 2 waterfall stones. I also need to start backfilling around my wetland filter here, so I've folded the rubber back and I want to start putting some sand in back behind the rubber to fill in all the gaps so the chipmunks don't get in. And then I'm going to put a drainage stone apron all across the front of this ledge here and put some fabric on top and then cap it with clay so I can wrap my tarp right around it, and all that groundwater has an easy path to the French drain ditch and it'll push it all the way out. Well, that's the theory, but we'll see if it actually works. Right now we're making a lot of progress on the waterfall, so I think it's gonna look good. We got the stone and dirt out of here, so it's a nice clean level base again. Don't need to build up yet, but I'm trying to keep the area clean as we're working in it. I got some more river stone brought down right here so I can start, so I don't have to do it by hand. And all this will be going into my bog wetland filter. It's a beautiful day out here, so we're trying to take advantage of it and get as much as we can done, but I still need more stone, so I'm trying to work on this French drain. Then maybe this week and weekend we'll be bringing down some stone to keep stacking. Got a bunch of the stone put into the wetland filter there, so any water that accumulates in the bottom should get pressed out into my French drain that I got finished. I just have the pipe in there wrapped around with a bunch of these rounded rocks and then completely wrapped over with the landscaping fabric. I do need to figure out my finished grade ground level because this is kind of low. I think that ledge is actually water level. And then all these edges are a little low, and then my water level is actually somewhere right around the mulch, where the mulch is sitting. So I'll have to reestablish my water level so I can get this edge cleaned up, the rubber in place, and then I can put my stones in to hold the rubber up and everything else. So this is where I am right now, trying to get some rubber in, and then I'll have this whole area rubbered off, and I can start putting in some more stone once I get that brought down from my brothers. I have some stone here, but I'm going to need more to make that limestone wall. I will have a big retainment stone here, so I'll have to figure out that rubber once that stone comes in, and I'll get the exact sizes of it. Ideally, you'd want to rubber line your entire pond and seam everything together. Like this is seamed. You can see it's glued there, 2 pieces together, so those areas will help. But yeah, you'd want a full liner around the whole thing to hold all the water in place so you don't have any leaks, but that's not realistic for me right now. I could wait until I could buy the whole entire liner for everything, or I can just do it this way. I might have to buy a smaller chunk of liner, but we will see later. But I'd like to get this in before winter starts and it gets all cold out here, and I don't want to be outside anymore. So we're gonna do what we can with what I have. All right, let's do it. Right now I'm cutting out this little weir I have right here. I need to cut out a straight edge because for this little curve here, it's about 8 feet long, just under. I'm going to be using this log that I just brought down from up behind our barn. Once you put wood underwater, it takes a lot longer for it to decay. All right, pop, go. are back on a new day of this pond build. The last thing that we did was get that log placed, and I've been looking at it since then and decided to change it. You can see I got that log pulled back out with the backhoe, and I have a different setup here with the rubber. I took out the 2 strips. Instead of trying to mend these 2 chunks of rubber that I have here with 3 strips, I'm just going to pull this one length of rubber I have, like I did, 6.5 feet by 17 feet. So I pulled it up so I could tuck it under that flap there from the intake bay, or from the wetland filter I mean, so they'll overlap and flow down in. That way I don't have too many seams here. I do still have this one chunk of rubber for holding in that wall there, and I have it overlapping this 6.5 foot piece, trying to keep some of the debris out. But I did end up buying a chunk of pond liner. I went and ordered a 24 by 50 foot roll of pond liner for this section here, because I'm putting all the work into it and I don't want this to end up leaking real bad and having a ton of maintenance in it. And you can see we have a lot of shale, big shale pocket, and I'm sure we're gonna find more, but that's no good for holding water. So I'm not really doing it the right way. Of course, we already knew that, but I'm still going to use all the rubber that I have available to me, but I need more because my design got a little bit bigger. Today I want to get this log set back in place and the liner unfolded and evened out as best I can. But I'm going to put that back in there, and I need to get some river rock brought in for finishing up the wetland filter. Then I can backfill all the way around it and leave the liner there until I'm ready to do my edge work. But yeah, it's getting close. Okay, another 150 times up and down out of the backhoe, but we got the log set. Puppy's been helping by dropping a ball in every so often, but still got it placed. The perfect size log for that area. Got her set in right on that edge. Now I can fill in the rest with gravel, different size of stone and gravel. I'll fill in all these gaps, but this log will be completely submerged, and I'll have some stone running right up, maybe right up to it, so you'll still be able to see the top of it and know it's there, but it's pretty much going to be fully submerged. But that feels good to get that in place. So yeah, that might be my one thing for today. I'll pup. And for the last hour or so, I've been setting this nice rock here. Nice long, probably about 4 feet long. It has this nice little worn away edge right here, which I'm gonna set one of my waterfall stones right about here on this level, so water should just wash right over that edge. If it doesn't, I'll make a channel of water to come around here to wash over it. But yeah, it's nice to get a big stone like that set in place, start framing out my falls. Right now I'm going to start building up the limestone retainment wall that I need for this sheep falls, because I'm going to be setting 2 large flat rocks right here, and I want them to overhang the water so the fish can go underneath the falls. So I'll need to support them somehow, which will be with a limestone retainment wall. Build it up, and then I can set the rock right on the ground and the wall. I think it'll balance just perfectly. And I'm just going to use a bunch of miscellaneous limestone shapes to try and build this wall. But first, Puppy, coming, Pop. Go. I decided to go ahead and stack the limestone wall with the stone that I have, and I think it turned out pretty well. It's not a smooth, straight wall, but nature doesn't build in straight lines, so it's just a dry stack wall. There's no adhesive or anything to bond it together, but it's also pretty stable. I'm pretty happy with it. Should be able to hold my waterfall stones, and once the pressure of the weight of the stones is on there, it's going to be even more stable. Doesn't look that great. May not be the most attractive looking wall, but it's going to be underwater, and it's going to work out just the way I want it to. Now the next step is to set the big waterfall stone. We're gonna go ahead and stop today right here. I'm gonna go play with puppies some more, burn off some energy before it's time to go in, and then I'll be eating. So I'm done for the day. I think I got pretty good progress done. Got that rubber pulled all the way up, so it's less overlaps in this area here, which is going to be the stream area. Got that log placed in for the retainment, and I like it. I really like it there. I also was able to get this big stone, this little cornerstone of the waterfall, placed in there, and I think it's in the right spot. We'll see once we get the final falls 2 sheet fall stones in there. I got the one over behind the flowers here and the other one over on this corner laying there, so I've been taking measurements, trying to make sure that I have the right spacing between this stone and this stone to fit the 2 other stones. But yeah, this wall came together pretty nicely. I was surprised that I had enough stone here to do the wall. It's not the prettiest thing. My pond hose from Home Depot got delayed again, so I'm still waiting on that to come. It's now a week behind and putting me a good 2 weeks behind. So I need to get that hose in so I can run that hose through this area and I can rock it in the rest of the way. I also need to run that hose up the stream into my barrel in the wetland filter. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can with the materials that I have on hand, and we'll get this done as quick as possible. Stick around for more progress of the pond.